Hello. So, a little backstory on the clips you're seeing or you're about to see. This is documenting me and my wife Katie's progress in converting a full size school bus into a library for a local private school here in Pensacola, Florida. Now, a little backstory. Um, the way we got this opportunity is that me and Katie converted a school bus that we have lived in for now 5 to 6 years. At the time of this video, it was close to 3 to 4 years. But the conversion of our own home school bus led to this opportunity. So we converted our own school bus. We got a call from someone we knew who worked at this school who said, "Hey, we're looking to do something a little alternative. We have a bunch of books. We need some storage. So what would it look like if you and your wife converted a school bus for us to store our books for, all of our grades?" This is a kindergarten through 8th grade school. And so we came in, sat down with them, talked with them. It was sort of a blessing in disguise because I was looking for a full-time job at the time. Was taking a break from ministry, getting into education, and so I went, sat down, we talked with them about the school bus conversion. We said yes, that'd be good. And then the principal also said, "By the way, I know you're looking for some work. I've got a full-time 5th grade teacher position open if you're interested." I said, "5th grade sounds kind of right up my alley. Let me go for it." So it was a 2-for-1, a blessing in disguise. I was only the 5th grade teacher there for 6 months for the first half of the year, and then I decided I needed to step back. I needed to be teaching music, not all subjects. I just wasn't prepared to be a 5th grade teacher, although I had a really good time for that first semester. But this conversion took us about a year and a half. We thought it would probably only take us 8 to 10 months, maybe a year. But school, as in teaching, and gigs and life and family took longer than we thought. So this is only our second conversion we've done, much different than doing a Skoolie Home. A little easier in some aspects of the design, but we did things differently on that bus that we learned from our own home bus that maybe we would do a little differently if we got the chance to do another conversion. So we did. We put the wisdom to the test, and the things that were hard for our first conversion were easier the second time around, but this one also had its own challenges because it was a different bus, different model of bus, different year, all of that stuff. So we had some different mechanic issues that we had to deal with, but all in all, some really, really good stuff. So we'll get into the clips, and then maybe you might have another video with me talking a little bit more. Out here, Dothan, Alabama, you've got it right. We're looking at a whole bunch of schoolies today. This project is not for a Skoolie Home conversion, but for a fun little project that me and Katie got found out and hired for. This is gonna be really fun, checking out a bunch of cool buses. We've got our eye on number 58, number 56 down yonder, or number 75, the Thomas Safety Liner C2. Probably gonna go with one of the older ones, 56 or 58, because that's our style, and we like the way those look and operate better. With school buses, older is better a lot of times. It's not always about how new it is. So we'll see. Stay tuned. You. So as you can see, we're pretty stoked right here. We went with bus number 58 on auction. It was just a little over $3,000 overall, and it's hard to believe, but that's a GovDeals auction for you down here in the South. Now, the Bluebird 2006 Vision, this one was really solid, had good bones, good engine, good mechanics. It'd been, serviced monthly or every 3 months by the school district there where we got it from. Here's a side-by-side with our home bus, as you can see. This was a really good bus. We were worried about doing a Bluebird because we heard they were hard to uninstall things, but look right here how easy it is to uninstall the seats. So you guys are not gonna believe this. This is crazy. I don't understand how this is happening, but it is. Maybe it's. I have a theory. Anyways, check it out. These seats for the school bus have these massive bolts in them, right? Once they got these bolts, you can loosen them up with just the socket wrench on top, but then eventually there's the nut on the bottom that you got to get to. You see, right there. So there's the nut that you got to get to. So you have to have someone on the bottom to hold it in place with a wrench, and then someone on top to screw it off and pull it through and catch the bolt on the bottom. So that was the case with most of these ones on the back, but let me show you something. Over here, once I got to about the middle of the bus, I went out to the store this morning, got a little 1/2-inch driver for for the driver, which fits these perfect. And these things are just, some of them are coming right up. So there were nuts on the bottom of all of these bolts. They were just getting gripped to the underside of the bus, to the grime there, and so we didn't really need someone underneath with a ratchet or a wrench to hold the nuts in place. So yeah, we got very, very lucky with these. It's nice. I mean, I got a bunch out for free. We only needed help on maybe 5 or 6 seats where we needed someone on the bottom of the bus. So cool. And there's no nut or washer. I don't hear anything hitting the ground or hitting any of the mechanics underneath. And watch this. Are you kidding? What? That's crazy. This is how many we got so far. For free. So easy. I was waiting for Katie to start taking out the seats, but might be able to get a head start on it. Now this is always a great moment. The first time you actually get to take a seat out of the bus and throw it on the ground, you realize there's so much space, so much potential in these things. It's awesome. The the boogie board on the ground, that's a nice little knee pad for when we needed to get under the bus. Be careful, don't bust the light. Nice. It's a dirty bus. We're getting there. One thing at a time. Oh, look at that. Yep. Now I actually have better pulling technique with my left hand. I don't know why, it just feels better. I think it's because I don't have my classical guitar fingernails. Oh, let's get the whole letter. Come on. This. Don't break. Gotta reset the tension. Don't pull it too far away. Yep. Give me the whole thing. Don't be an eager beaver. Take your time with it. And sometimes you get the whole letter. Yeah. Whew. Now we gotta do the whole other side. So we're making progress. We got about half the bus seats out. We got them all unbolted. It was much easier to unbolt than ours was. So that was nice. We're also much wiser than the first time we did this, so that's nice. Makes things a lot easier. But anyways, if you know anybody who needs some school bus seats, tell them to come and find us. Because we've got some school bus seats for sale. Facebook Marketplace. They're in pretty good condition. We're even cleaning out the trash for you. All the Cheeto wrappers, raisin packs. We found an iPhone earlier. That was crazy. Anyways, going good. Yeah, so a lot of times we'll sell the seats on Facebook Marketplace. Most of the time it's just people looking for extra scrap metal to sell, take to the junkyard. We did that with our first bus, and it was more hassle than it was worth, as we only made like $20 or $30 something. It was cool to see all the steel get sucked up by a giant magnet at the scrapyard in a matter of seconds, with something that took us, hours to complete and take out of the bus. But yeah, so lots of trash, also lots of candy wrappers, sticky treasures that nobody wants to touch or see or smell. But that's what you get when you're working with school buses from an elementary or high school or middle school. So is what it is. Yeah, so right here I'm putting the bottom seat cushion back onto the overall seat, because taking them out was easier that way. These ones came off really easy, just 2 little clamps, but I was putting them back on because we're going to sell them or take them all to the junk yard all in one pile. So that's what I'm doing here. Watch your step coming up, but once you get in, not much to watch out for, because we got all the bus's seats out, except for this one, because it's got a stubborn bolt. But we're gonna get it. Other than that, getting these seats out was incredibly easy. I mean, incredibly easy. I have never seen anyone have this much ease with seats. This was a 2006 Bluebird Vision. from Dothan, Alabama, just in immaculate condition. It was so easy to take these seats out. The ones that were in the ground, as well as the ones that were in these rails, the side rails here. These ones were a little bit more finicky. And then of course there's the problem of trying to get to some of these bolts on the underside. But as long as you got someone on top, all we did was get a driver, 1/2-inch hex bolt driver. And so Katie was on top with this bad boy. And that plus me just with a small little baby wrench on the bottom, holding the nut, came right up. So this was awesome. Got all the seats out. Now we got to get rid of the seats. Hopefully someone might buy them or something, I don't know. And then of course we got to get all this trash out. Don't be so trashy. Don't leave your trash in the school bus, kids. Come on, someone's gonna make this school bus into a library one day. Or maybe this school bus might be someone's home, you know? Where you're sitting in that seat, what is seat number 3 to you could be like the middle seat of the couch for someone else in the future. Just think about it. Think about it. Okay, so we got all the seats out. Someone came and picked them up the other day for free. We weren't selling them, we were just trying to get rid of them. And he's gonna take them off and scrap them, I think. I don't know. Anyways, working on getting some of these decals off. The reflective decals are really, really hard to get off on this bus. I don't know why, but we gotta come off. We got the decal off, but we got a lot of leftover residue. Anyways, coming into the bus, starting to get some of the floor up. Got the rubber mats coming up, seeing what we're working with. That is not good. It'll probably come up really easy, but that means we got some rust to treat under there. Now in the back of the bus, we've got some wood up. Got the back 2 panels up here. And as you see, yeah, she's like, oh wow, it looks really wet. Yeah, that's wet. So we got some work to do, but it's all good. We're gonna make it look really pretty soon. Trust me, trust me. So a little update. Got a bunch of nasty old plywood up from yesterday. I'm in the floors. Watch the step. Not much of it is salvageable.
Bunch of nasty old plywood. Not much of it is salvageable.
Voila. Got to some metal floors. Bunch of wet spots. But it's all good. We're gonna treat them, we're gonna fix it. Gonna start to air out. Only thing was, the screws in the subfloor, the plywood floors were really hard to get out. So I had to pry a bunch of them. So that's gonna be a bunch of angle grinder jobs right there, right there, right there. Those are screws with the head still on them that are stripped. So it'll be fun. It's exciting, it's exciting. Making progress. Yes. Show everybody this awesome bulletin board they put up in an expectation of the school bus library that we're coming with. Look at this. Look what happens when you look under the windows. This is so smart. I wish I could have came up with this. There's book ideas under there, under the windows. This is gonna be so cool. My 5th grade class is really excited to get this bus library here. A lot of work still to be done. Stay tuned. So here you'll see I'm opening all the windows, but even got the back door open for a moment, but I've got a respirator mask on, not just an N95, an actual respirator. And the reason was because we had some black mold that was under the subfloor, and so it's still getting aired out, still very muggy in there. And also we're dealing with a lot of loose rust, and so that was just getting in my lungs. It was causing some irritation. So you always got to be careful when you're working with rust and dust combined, or black mold or anything like that, where there's humidity in the air or being released after being trapped for such a long time. So be careful out there. Always wear your protection. It's going to be so interesting when you walk up these steps one day and it's like a library here. Nice lights. Anyways, so we've got all the floor up, bunch of rust here, nothing in the middle, a little bit in the back. Right now, what we're working on is getting up these little screws here that were holding the subfloor down. Like that, guys. Some of them will come up pretty easily, but some of them, they gotta come out the hard way. We either gotta shave them off or pull them out with pliers, twist them by hand. But this big heater here, we've got to do something with it. Either decide if we want to keep it, probably not keep it, it takes up a lot of space. But look how much cord there is. So we got to do something about cutting that coolant line, piping it back into itself. But it's a project for another day, one step at a time. Get the floor up, treat the floor, and start taking out walls, get that insulation out. Maybe talk about taking windows out soon to reseal them. Eventually the roof. The checklist is long and mighty, but just keep chipping away at it. That's all you can do. This is nice. I'm sorry, I had to sneak that clip back in here. That's the best skateboarding clip I've ever done. Also a good way to be resourceful of materials. All right, here we are. We're taking out the lights and the speakers, all 12 volt, from the interior of the bus. The light that you see illuminating the interior is a shop light. All of these lights didn't work anyways, or at least the connection had been cut somewhere along the way, but these all went into the recycle or the trash receptacle. Now we have to do this because we're taking out this metal ceiling, the interior ceiling that you're seeing here. All of that will come out. Hundreds of screws that need to be chiseled away with an air chisel. Very strenuous process. Probably my least favorite thing of bus conversions is taking out the ceiling, but one of the most useful things, and it's a step a lot of people skip because it is hard, but it's a very lazy thing to do because there's very bad insulation in the roof, and we would go on, this is going to later be spray foam with closed cell spray foam insulation, really good at keeping the cold air in as well as the heat in the winter. Here's a little bus update. So got all the floor out. Working on this little section here under the driver's seat. Last time we removed the driver's seat. This time we're not going to remove the driver's seat because it has a air ride suspension system, which means it's got some components that are hooked up to the belly of the bus as well as to the air brake system. So unplugging them and replugging them back in or changing them could cause an issue with starting the bus. So we're gonna try to work around it, which we think we can without removing the seat. But if you look up top, we started taking out some lights, taking out the speakers, capping those off, tape those up before we start taking out the ceiling. So next job is actually gonna be taking out these side walls here, which we have to angle grind right underneath here. And we've got an angle grind right above here, as well as try to get these bad boys out. But probably what it'll be, we'll just angle grind right out this big metal part. Then we'll take this insulation out, put fresh insulation in. We'll get the whole thing spray foamed eventually. But yeah, steady going, slow goes it. Got to drain the heater. So we've got to drain out all that coolant that's in the line, or most of it, and then cut both lines and cap them off so that it's a little bit shorter, not getting in our way. We won't use it anyways. Yeah, so if you know anybody that needs some security cameras for a school bus, got them here with all the wiring and everything's in good shape, as well as some 12 volt speakers, which we might experiment with those, see if we can't create our own little amplifier or something. I don't know, but it's coming along, slow and steady. Alright, thank you so much for watching. As you can tell, the sun's going down here on the farm, so it's time for me to go in and quit editing. Please leave a like, and if you have any questions or anything to say at all, just leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to reply to those. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. Next one is going to be about removing the sidewalls as well as the roof ceiling on the inside. So you don't want to miss that. And we're going to keep working on those sticky decals on the outside of the bus. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye.